Hey there, and welcome to another episode of biology. And today I'm going to go into a new topic called nutrition. Nutrition, which is not something new to us. As you can see from our JAMB syllabus, as it's been displayed on your screen right now, I'm going to look at nutrition, and then we'll look at modes. I'm going to look at the types of nutrition. We're going to discuss plant nutrition, animal nutrition, all right, and the likes. So do not sleep and do not joke with this topic. Because questions are easily being set on this topic. All right, so do not forget that this tutorial is brought to you by the O3 Schools JAMB CBT practice app. Like I've said always, it is all you need to succeed in your exam. All right, so now we're going to go to the app and then see a question from the app as it pertains to what? To nutrition. This is a biology 2022 question number 19. It says, the process where certain bacteria, which are autotrophs, manufacture their own food from simple inorganic substances is called, A says autotrophic nutrition, B says heterotrophic nutrition, C says photosynthesis, D says chemosynthetic nutrition. All right, so at the first glance you may miss this question, all right, but we are going to come back to this question at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools we believe in giving you value first, then after then we can answer questions together and rub minds and enjoy ourselves. All right, because once you have studied, answering question will be the least of your problem. So please download the application, make sure you download it and activate it so that I can get full access to the application. It has all the past questions you need for all the subjects. It has lecture notes. There's a classroom feature with lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. Question search feature, you can search for questions according to topics. There's a UTME mock challenge every Saturday where you can compete with all students that are writing JAMB for this year. Apart from competing with them, you get used to JAMB past questions, JAMB likely exam questions. You familiarize yourself with how JAMB set questions, thereby building your confidence towards the exam. Is that not lovely? All right, so please download the app, activate. It's available for your laptops or your computers. It's available for your Android phones on Play Store. All right, if you need the laptop application, just send a message to this number on WhatsApp 09121515246. Just send a message to this number on WhatsApp. Say, Commander, I need the link for laptop of my computer at home, and then I'll send you the link to download specifically for your computer so that you can practice without interruption. All right, so now let us talk about nutrition. And what do you say nutrition is? We say nutrition, that is feeding. It's feeding. It means feeding. So it's the taking in of food materials by living organisms for metabolic activities. All right? It means feeding, and it is the taking in of food materials by living organisms for metabolic activities. Nutrition is not something new to us. All right? And we already know that nutrition is actually what? Taking in food. Eating, that's nutrition. Feeding, that is nutrition. And not only taking in that food, but utilizing that food. Okay, that is what nutrition is. Nutrition is not only taking in the food, but utilizing, but what? Also what? Utilizing food. That is what nutrition is all about. Okay, so nutrition, we say is the taking in of food, all right? And then we also say that it's also the utilizing of the food. And nutrition is like fuel, okay? It's like fuel for the body, okay? It's like fuel for the body, just like how fuel is to a car, okay? That is how food is to our body, all right? The reason why we call nutrition, why we call food the fuel for our body is because, right, food contains some important components. Food contains important components, all right, that are called nutrients. Food contains important components that are called nutrients, all right? And these nutrients, they are needed for our body, or they are needed in our body for what? For growth and development, okay? If you do not eat, you will not grow, okay? How many of you know that, all right? So you remain a baby if you refuse to eat. Okay, in fact, you may not even be alive right now if you're not eating. All right, so you need food for what? For growth and development. What other reasons may you need food? You need food for what? For energy. All right, let's say you are just coming home from class. You are so tired. right? You need what to revitalize what yourself by what? By eating, by drinking what water. So you need what? Food for what? For energy. We define energy as the ability to do work. That means you may not be able to work if you don't eat. Okay, so you need to what? You need energy to what? To work. That is why what you need what? Food. Also, for immunity, consumption of some certain what? Food that are rich in vitamin C, like for example, your tangerine, your oranges, as well as broccoli. Okay, it helps to increase the production of white blood cells in the body, which helps to what? To fight against what? Disease causing germs, okay, like virus and bacteria. Okay, so food is very, very important. It also helps also what? Helps living organisms to what? To keep their what? Their body temperature, to regulate their body temperature. So it is very, very important. Food is like fuel to the body. All right? Food is fuel. Fuel. When I mean not fuel, I mean fuel. Okay? That is what? Fuel for the what? For the body. Now, we're going to talk about modes of nutrition. But before we talk about modes of nutrition, let me give you an illustration. Let's say you just came back from class. You are so very, very tired. You are famished. All right. You are hungry. Before you left for class, you did not prepare food. And then when you got home with the hope that your mom will have prepared food, then when you reach house, nothing there. Okay. Well, your mom has not prepared food. Maybe because you came a little bit earlier, okay, than the time that she was supposed to make the food. So you came home, nothing to eat. All right. So, but the raw materials are available in the house. Let's say there's spaghetti, there's onions and pepper, there's groundnut oil that you can easily use to make your spaghetti. Okay, let's say it's available, but you do not have the time and the strength because you are so hungry. Okay, so you have that option of actually what? Making that food. But then you now remember that there's a small buka close to you where they sell fufu. Okay, where you can buy fufu and eat. So you run to that buka. Okay, you have that option. Let me say you have that option to go to that buka also. So what? To also what? Eat from the buka. So 2 ways by which living organisms obtain their food. He said that they make the food themselves. Okay, he said that they make the food themselves, or they depend on others that have already made the food. Okay, so those are the 2 modes of what nutrition we have. All right, so there are broadly 2 main types of nutrition or modes of nutrition, and one is autotrophic nutrition, while the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. All right, so now let's talk about autotrophic. What is autotrophic nutrition? What is the meaning of autotrophic self? Auto means self. Auto, it means what? Self. Okay, while the trophic, okay, the trophic itself means what? Nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition means what? Self nutrition. All right. Why heterotrophic? Hetero means what? Others. Okay. Why the trophic means what? Nutrition also. So heterotrophic nutrition means what? Others nutrition. Okay. So in autotrophic nutrition, we say it's a mode of nutrition, okay, in which living organisms manufacture their own food from simple inorganic substances. All right. So say autotrophic mode of nutrition is a type of nutrition in which living organisms manufacture their own food, self-nutrition. They manufacture their own food from simple inorganic substances. All right. We'll say autotrophs are called what? Producers, because what? They can manufacture their own food. They are producers. Okay. So autotrophs are also called what? Producers. We say there are 2 types of what? Autotrophic nutrition, which is what? Chemosynthesis and photosynthesis, which I'm sure is not what a new thing. So for autotrophic nutrition, living organisms will take in simple inorganic substances and convert it to what? To food. Okay, example of living organisms that can do this are what? Are green plants. Okay, green plants, they can manufacture their food using what? The energy, okay, of the what? Of the sun. All right, those are what? Green plants. Other examples are some bacteria like cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, Okay, and some other bacteria, they have the ability to make their own food. Okay, they have the ability to make their own food. So that is what autotrophic nutrition called. One we call self-nutrition, whereby what living organisms they take in simple inorganic or substances and then they convert it to food. All right, we say examples are they are green plants, okay, and some other bacteria like cyanobacteria, all right, which have the ability to make their own food. So we have said that autotrophic nutrition divided into two, which is chemosynthesis and photosynthesis. Okay, we have autotrophic nutrition. Okay, we say it is divided into two, which is number one, we say chemosynthesis. And then number two, we say photosynthesis. Okay, so the one that is very, very common, that we know very well is photosynthesis. Okay, but so I'm going to talk about photosynthesis in a separate class. Let us focus on chemosynthesis in this class. It is part of our syllabus. That is why we are giving it attention also. Okay, so photosynthesis, plants, can manufacture their food using the energy of the sun. Okay, all right, living organisms that manufacture their food using the energy of the sun. All right, but chemosynthesis, now let me give you an illustration. What is chemosynthesis? First of all, let me define chemosynthesis for you. We'll say chemosynthesis is a process. Chemosynthesis is a process by which certain organisms synthesize carbohydrates using energy obtained by the oxidation of simple inorganic substances. Okay, so chemosynthesis is a process by which certain organisms synthesize carbohydrates, or carbon compounds using energy obtained by the oxidation of simple inorganic substances. This one, living organisms, for photosynthesis, living organisms to manufacture their food using the energy of the sun. All right, but for chemosynthesis, all right, this certain organism, they synthesize carbohydrates using energy obtained by oxidizing simple inorganic substances. Okay, so now I will explain this with an illustration. Like near the surface of the planet, near the surface of our planet Earth here, all right, what happens? Plants, we absorb the energy of the sun. Okay, so as they absorb the energy of the sun, they use to make food. Okay, and this process is what we call photosynthesis. In fact, all of life near the surface of our planet Earth is powered by the sun. Okay, and then after absorbing the energy from this sun, they will store it as chemical bonds. And then animals will now eat those plants. Okay, that's what happens at the surface of the Earth here. All right, so the light energy from the sun is absorbed by the plants, which those plants store as chemical bonds, and then animals eat those plants. Now that's the process we call photosynthesis. Okay, now what about deep down under water or deep down under the ground where sun does not get to? Okay, so now how does life survive in that kind of place? How does life survive in that kind of place? How do living organisms that are under dark places, deep under the waters, how do they obtain their own food? The simple process is chemosynthesis. They obtain their own food, or they obtain their own nutrition by by chemosynthesis. In fact, chemosynthesis and photosynthesis is not that different. All right, the difference here is that for photosynthesis, light energy is powering life. Okay, for photosynthesis, light energy is powering life, but for photosynthesis, chemical energy is what? Is powering what? Life. All right. So please take note of that. Photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, they are not so much different. Just that in photosynthesis, light energy is what? Is powering life. While for chemosynthesis, chemical energy is what? Is powering what? Life. Right. Now, the process whereby what? Living organisms use what? Chemical energy to what? To produce their own food. Okay, to what? To manufacture their own food is called what? By the absorption of what? Or by the oxidation rather of what? Of simple inorganic substances. That is what we call what? Chemosynthesis. Okay, so living organisms are what? That manufacture their food by oxidizing simple inorganic substances. Okay, that are called what? Chemosynthetic organisms. And the ones we call the chemosynthetic organisms. All right. So please take note of what? Of that. This chemosynthetic organism, the what? They manufacture their food by the what? By the oxidation of what? Of simple inorganic what? Substances. Okay. Now, chemosynthesis divided into two. Okay. We have two types of chemosynthetic organisms. One, we have what? The autotrophs. Autotrophs. Okay. Then we also have what? The heterotrophs. Heterotrophs. All right. Now, for the autotrophs, examples are, for example, nitrosomonas. Nitrosomonas. Okay, it's an example of what? Of a chemosynthetic autotroph. Another example is Beggiatoa. Beggiatoa. Okay, this is all Beggiatoa. Beggiatoa. These are examples of what? Of chemosynthetic what? Autotrophs. All right. Now, this nitrosomonas, for example, what does it do? It oxidizes what? Ammonia into nitrite. Okay, nitrosomonas oxidizes ammonia into what? Nitrite. Okay, and then there is what? A release of energy. It is that energy that it is used for what? For what? For growth. Okay, so please let us see the reaction. Nitrosomonas, like we said, they will what now? They will oxidize ammonia into what? Nitrite. And then energy is what? Is released for nitrosomonas. All right. So now that energy that is released is what is used in what? Empowering its what? Its own what? Life. So for example, we say nitrosomonas oxidizes what? Ammonia. So the reaction we're going to have what? Ammonia, then what? Being oxidized into what? Into nitrite. I'm going to have what? Let me write the Barrant reaction. Let me say 2NH3 plus 3O2. Then of course, what I'm going to have, I'm going to have nitrite. I'm going to have what? NO2, 2NO2 minus. Then I'm going to have plus 2H2O. Sorry. Then I'm going to have then plus 2H plus, then plus what? Energy. All right. This is the full reaction. All right. So now, nitrosomona oxidizes what? Ammonia into what? Nitrite. Okay. Then there's a release of energy. Okay. It is this energy that is what is used for what? For its growth. Okay. So please take note of that. Also, Beggiatoa what? We oxidize hydrogen sulfide instead. While nitrosomona is oxidizing what? Ammonia. Beggiatoa will oxidize what? Hydrogen sulfide. Okay. So I'm going to have what? Hydrogen sulfide. Okay, it will oxidize hydrogen sulfide into what? And I'm going to have what? Sulfur and what? And water. All right, it oxidizes into what? Sulfur, S, then plus what? H2O, then plus energy. All right, so energy is also what? Being what? Released. Okay, so this is one for Beggiatoa. Beggiatoa will oxidize what? Oxygen into what now? Into sulfur. Okay, and what? And water, and release what? Energy. This energy that is released is what the Beggiatoa will use for what? For its growth and what? And development. All right. So please take note of this. So chemosynthesis and photosynthesis, they do not have so much different. It's just that for photosynthesis, light energy is powering life. While for chemosynthesis, right, chemical energy is what is powering life. I could say chemosynthesis, this process whereby our living organisms in the world, they oxidize what? Simple inorganic what? Substances. Okay, like as you can see, like nitrosomonas oxidizing what? Ammonia, while Beggiatoa oxidizing what? Hydrogen was sulfide. That is what? Chemosynthesis. All right, we're going to go to the O3 School JAMB CBT practice app now. Then we'll take some questions. In the next class, we'll talk about what? Photosynthesis. All right, which is the other aspect of autotrophic nutrition. Now, this is a 2022 question number 19. We're seeing, they said, the process where certain bacteria, which are autotrophs, manufacture their own food from simple inorganic substances is called what? That is simply what? Chemosynthesis. Okay, it's chemosynthesis. It's a chemosynthetic nutrition. All right, A say autotrophic, B say heterotrophic, C say photosynthesis, D say chemosynthetic nutrition. All right, so that's what I was saying, that you may easily miss this question. Correct answer there is option D, which is what chemosynthetic nutrition. Now let us see another question. They say the modes of nutrition in Nitrobacter, okay, Nitrobacter, in Ascaris and Homo sapiens, respectively, are A, says photosynthetic, parasitic, and holozoic. B, say chemosynthetic, parasitic, and holozoic. C, say photosynthetic, parasitic, and heterophytic. D, say chemosynthetic, holophytic, and holozoic. Okay, so this question, we'll actually do it when we talk about heterotrophic nutrition. We'll come back to it. Okay, so, but the correct answer there should be option B. So let us go to other questions. We have what? 2023 number 12. 2023 number 12. It says, what is autotrophic nutrition? They say nutrition in which organisms obtain food from other organisms. This is nutrition in which organisms produce their own food using energy from the sun or inorganic substances. C says nutrition in which organisms obtain food by breaking down complex organic compounds. This is nutrition in which organisms obtain food by consuming both plant and animals. Correct answer there is option B. Nutrition in which what organisms produce their own food using what energy from the sun. Okay, so this is a 2020 question number 6. 2020 number 6. It said autotrophic nutrition may be defined in terms of food obtained. A, say from other organisms in exchange for some products. Very, very wrong. B, by the breakdown of complex substances. Very wrong. C, by an organism utilizing its own store of energy. Very, very wrong. D, by synthesizing simple substances using energy from external sources. This was energy from external source, which is what the sun. Correct answer there is option D. Someone will say JAMB does not repeat per question. You see, that I've asked for autotrophic nutrition in two ways. 2 different ways. And if you do not know, okay, you will not say JAMB. You say, nah, JAMB did not repeat any question. I did not say any question repeated. You don't cram past questions. Okay, what you do, you practice and you study, and then you understand what questions. All right. So please, I'll see you in the next episode where we'll talk about photosynthesis. Thank you for watching. Let's start this class.